Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Matt with Green Bar Trading. So, I wanted to make this video and get this out here as early as possible. It's only 7:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Sunday morning. I've been doing my research for the better part of a day and a half now. I have a ton of stuff here. Bear with me. But, the channel has shown incredible growth in just the past day. So, for all my new subscribers, I do thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And what we do here on the weekend is I have a weekly watch list video that we upload every single Sunday. So I wanted to get this out there for you guys, especially early, since you just subscribed to the channel. I want, to let you guys see what it's like to be in the green bar trading community. And look, so what we do every weekend is tons of, you name it, I have read it. Okay. We do a lot of research to find the best probability for directional bias in the stock market. So what that means is if we're trading options on the SPY, on the Qs, on the Diamond, so the Dow Jones ETF, whatever you're doing, even if you're trading stocks, you want those stocks to have the market behind you. So you want to be trading with the flow, not against it. The trend is your friend. I know it's cliche. It's the truth. And one other thing I've worked on here, hopefully it's gotten a little better, is the volume situation on the microphone. Totally new to it. Wasn't expecting the growth to be so fast with the channel and the community. So I'm kind of working and trying to keep up with demand. So I have a microphone here. Didn't really know how to use it when I first got it. Hopefully the sound is a little bit easier to take, and it will get better. So anyway, with all that out of the way, I have some notes written down, some things I want to get to that we will. And I try to make these videos as fast as possible because my daughters are starting to wake up. I have one down here already, and I hear the other one coming down as I'm doing this. Thought I was getting this done before they woke up, but I guess that's not the case. Earnings for the week. Right here, guys. It is insane amount of earnings this week. This, to me, has been the catalyst for the last week and a half of bullish action we've seen in the stock market. We were waiting for the earnings reports to come out. We wanted to see and hear from the CEOs about the supply chain. Was it hurting earnings? Is it hurting earnings going forward? Are they going to be beating on the expectations? And so far, almost 80% have beaten on their earnings calls, which is really good. It's in line. And going into earnings, everybody was very bearish. All bad news. That's good. I know it sounds weird, but it's really good if you have a ton of bears and less bulls going into earnings. That just gives us more room to go. And that's exactly what we saw here in the past week. All those people sitting on the sidelines, waiting because they didn't believe it, and then they start to jump in. And now we got back to all-time highs on the Dow and on the S&P 500. We basically double topped on the S&P 500. and the Dow, sort of. The Qs haven't gotten back there yet. And on Friday, we had our first distribution day on the NASDAQ. So if you don't know what a distribution day is, it is a stock market that goes down 0.2% or more on heavier volume than the day before. That's what a distribution day is. It's the first one we've seen in a while. That means there was institutional selling on Friday in the tech sector. So we're going to want to look at all that. Let's just take a look at the bonds. The 10-year Treasury yield is a big one. This actually touched 1.70. So this is marching higher. These are pullbacks. These things are day traded and, traded just like everything else. Futures, stocks, bonds are traded the same way. This went up. It came back down. It did the same thing when it broke 1.50. When this keeps going up, that means that bonds, people are fleeing the 10-year because of inflation fears. That's what that means. So when the yield goes up a lot, the price of the bonds actually goes down. It's the opposite. So when the yield goes up a lot, that means less people are buying the bonds, and they're going and they're seeking other forms of investment because they think that the 10-year Treasury yield, being what it is not a good hedge for inflation if inflation continues. So that's why you see these really big moves in the 10-year. But when this goes up to 1.70, like you saw on Friday, that's not good for big growth stocks. So that's why you saw some sell-off there. Also, Snap and iOS with Apple, all of that kind of stuff played in too, because you have a couple of stocks that are big weightings on the market. So when you have Facebook and Google, stuff like that down, that's going to weigh down those averages. So we saw Apple do very well. So that's the 10-year. That's the earnings. Let's take a look. Now I'm going to pull up for you guys our Webull platform because this is a little cleaner to look at. If we were going to be on my Thinkorswim, it would be almost impossible to see the daily chart because I have all my key levels in there. And that's something else. Now, when I say my key levels, this is something I post on Discord every single trading morning. Are levels where we're going to see support and where we're going to see resistance. So if you're trading the SPY, it's very important to know where these critical levels are. And actually, I'll just pull that up on Friday. This is Friday's key levels. Where is it? Right here. This is Friday's key levels. This is Friday's trading day right here that you're looking at on the SPY. These levels that I have here, these were posted before the market opened. Before the market opened. These were the key levels. We missed by 5 cents. Now, if you don't realize how good these key levels are and have been for the green bar trading community, just go on there and you will see what traders are trading and how they're using these levels to make informed higher probability trades. So if the price was coming down here, the drop here at 11 a.m., well, listen, it's not always 100%, but it gives a better probability that you're going to see a bounce right here at our 451 support level. And it did. It bounced right off of it and gave you a tremendous hour. A tremendous hour. If you were scalping options on Friday, same day expiration, you could have killed it with this trade. Same thing went for here. When something breaks through a key level and just tanks right through it, on the retest right here, I mean, this is just the area to get short. And what happened here on the SPY is what I was warning people in our Discord community of a potential double top. Double tops are a little dangerous. And that's what we saw here. And I'll pull back my Webull cleaner platform. You can see here, this, I'm just going to do my crosshair. That's a double top right here. So what we made here, let me see if I could zoom this in for you guys. Getting a little better with the new Webull platform. Okay, let's look at the, before I pull this down, the RSI is also starting to do this type of curve back down. Now, it was looking great. When the RSI was pointing up, that's when you want to be going in. It's starting to do that topping off that we saw, and I'm just going to pull this down because you can see it did the same thing here, just to make the chart a little bit cleaner. That's what we saw right up here at previous highs. It stalled out. It stalled out. I'm not going to say that's going to happen again, but I am going to say, and I'm just going to do a little box on this candle. That candle right there that you see is a doji daily candle. It is a candle of indecision, which means we didn't know which way we wanted to go. So traders are buying, they're selling, they're buying, they're selling. It goes up and down during the day to close where it opened. A big range during the day. Well, right here on Friday, you want to talk about a range. That right there is a monster range to close, basically where you opened. It's just a candle of indecision. That's what a doji candle is. But when it happens on the daily chart, I tend to give it more weight, to give it more credibility when it happens on a daily chart. Because when it happened here, what did we see happen? The market was all out of buyers at this point, and we sold off. Okay? I'm not saying we're going to sell off. I'm just saying the potential for a double top or some sideways action, especially after a huge extended move, is totally normal. So if we start to trade sideways or even pull back a little bit, I mean, look at how far off the 20, and I could do this with my trend line. Pretty far off the 20 EMA. So almost 2.5%. Almost 2.5% off the 20 EMA. And you can just tell here, you know, it was kind of, you know, around the same amount before we started to pull back to at least test that 20 EMA. On the test, we kind of got a bounce, and then it broke through and then acted as resistance, and then just tanked through the 50 moving average. So I'm thinking that if we don't just absolutely explode up to new all-time highs, there could be some sideways trading or just some pullback to roughly the 20 EMA or maybe previous support. You know, the 448 area, 450 area, that is a nice area where there's been a lot of buyers that have come in the past. So we'll see if those areas hold if we do that type of trading. But just so you guys know, these are two very similar candles. The RSI, very similar numbers, around 65, very close to being overbought. It almost is overbought. I mean, it's very extended. You can just see here on the daily chart. Look back at previous recoveries. They're all around the same. And this one is pretty big. So I'm just looking at some of these comments that are coming in on YouTube. So anyway, let's just delete this. I like to clean up my charts because then they start to look a little crazy. That's the SPY. Let's go over the Qs for the week. On the Qs, what I have here is, since we had a distribution day on Friday, you can tell that right here, there's been some consolidation. Totally okay. But if we get a pullback, 370 is where I want to see this hold. And let's just pull this one up. Whoops. So you can tell right around here was previous resistance. We're going to just dial this in a little bit so we can all see it a little clearer. You can see here we were banging up against this. This is previous resistance. We broke it, kind of retested it a little bit. It's been an area that on a pullback, you're not only pulling back to previous resistance that should be support, you're pulling back to the 50 moving average and the 20 EMA. All the same spots. So 370 is going to be an area, if we pull back that far, that I'm going to want to see hold up. Going to want to see that area hold up before potential moves higher. Like I said, distribution day on Friday. Monday is going to be a big day. And then we have a ton of huge earnings reports this week. So it is definitely a time to be a little more cautious. When you're trading at all-time highs, there could be a lot of churning that happens. A lot of people will say, I'm going to sell when the market gets back to all-time highs. You can bring that back to clients a lot easier, right? Well, we sold at all-time highs. So there is definitely going to be unwinding of positions. But do I think the bull market is over? By no means. By absolutely no means do I think the bull market is over. I'm just saying we're trading at all-time highs. Let's see what happens. You don't have to go all in right now after such an extended move. Let's see. Wait. Tons of earnings this week. The 10-year treasury has been just bonkers. We want to just wait and see with some of these. So we did that. I do want to go over the diamonds. So this is the Dow Jones. We called this one out really, really well. It was trading between this area here, a nice sideways channel, and we broke out really good. Now the Dow is a very good indicator for future economic, United States, GDP type of industrials, value stocks, to bet that the overall economy is going to be really good going forward. This usually will do good, especially when, the yields start to go up. You'll have a lot of finance, banking stocks will like to go up, and the overall economy, that reopening that people have been playing, the switch from growth to reopening, from the tech to reopening, these types of things, these are the type of stocks that really haven't broken out in all these months of sideways trading that are now breaking out. I really like this breakout. We called it right here. We called it right here and then saw a very nice breakout. Now, where do we line up with all-time highs on the diamonds? Well, look at that. We closed at exactly that level. So you're talking about all-time highs where we close now. You can see the candlestick here. You know, it went up and then we pulled back a little bit. Where we closed is where we closed right back here in August, the August high before we pulled back. And also, if we want to take a look, the RSI is also at exactly the same number it was before we pulled back. Guys, you're in an extended run right now. Keep that in mind. You're in an extended run. When you have things like this, breakouts are great to join. Trust me, look at Tesla. I mean, you want to be in for the breakout, and they will go. But will they start to pull back a little bit and give us better entries? And that's what we're looking at. So what I'm not going to do in this video is I'm not going to do any picks. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to do any picks. The last 2 weeks, our picks have been fantastic. Okay. There was so much potential, especially if you were in our community, so much potential to really make some money on these picks. I am more looking this week at trading the SPY, the Qs, some earnings reports possibly. I don't buy before the earnings. I think that's just totally gambling. You never know how a stock is going to respond after earnings. So far, stocks have been responding fairly well after earnings. That is really important to know. There is one, I will give you guys one stock that I think looks really, really good, and that's Apple. Apple has earnings. Apple is a stock that, you know, held up there when a lot of the other stocks were going down big on Friday. It's kind of, you can say, consolidating a bit right there, which is good after a breakout. You'll get some consolidation. This is a very nice area to consolidate. And what we like to see here is we are over all of these indicators. So we're over the 20, which is very bullish. We broke and held over the 50 moving average. This is something that has room. If we look at this top of the channel, and let me just back this out a little bit. If we look at that top of the channel, there's definitely room to run. You have previous highs here at 157. You have Apple's earnings, and I have a feeling their earnings are going to be very good. They already put out their bad news as far as the production for some of their iPhones, the 13s, cutting back a little bit because of some supply chain. So that's already known. This is one that I will 100% have on watch, especially on Monday. I think their earnings are on Thursday. Don't quote me. Actually, we can take a look here. This is the weekly watch list video. Why would I not tell you exactly when it is? I thought it was Thursday. Is it not? Where's Apple? The 28th. Am I just missing it? It's right. Wow. Okay. Guys, 7:44 a.m. If you were watching the video and saying it's right there on Thursday like you said, I don't know why I was assuming that Amazon, this was one. Um, anyway, I was looking for A, not the actual logo. So that is my fault. I had a feeling it was on Thursday. It's after the close. So what we have then, when that happens, what could potentially be some great trades leading up are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. This can give us some room. Now, I don't like to trade going into earnings. So if I ever was taking any positions here, I would be looking just for a couple of swing trades, just for a couple of days here before Thursday. So what will happen on Thursday will most likely be very sideways trading. So I don't expect much on Thursday until after the earnings come out. Leading up to that, let's see if we could get a move. And I'm going to take a look on the chart here. Let's see if we could break this 150. We have to break 150. 150 is a psychological level that got rejected off of, and we closed, it looks like, just under that. I want to see 150 break. If 150 breaks and holds, let's go long, okay? However you like to trade, if 150 breaks, or if we gap up, or whatever happens with Apple, if 150 then holds up, or 149.80, you know, something like that, give it a little room. Let's see if we can take a quick scalp for the break of 150 for those first couple of days before earnings. That's the only thing that I'm really going to be looking at. Now, let's actually take a look at AMD, because AMD also has earnings, and we are approaching. These are just previous breakouts that worked perfectly. It's just really, really good calls so far in here. We have previous highs on this candle and then pullback closed right here, basically to support 119s. So 119s, but this was a breakout. This breakout happened on earnings. You can see what this thing can do. So will it continue the breakout to all-time highs? This is something we're going to have to keep on watch. AMD will be on watch, and I'm going to tell you guys when the earnings are going to be for that one also. And I'm going to hopefully not just totally miss it. Boom, Tuesday, right away. That's what I was looking for, the A, not the black Apple logo, which I should have been looking for. So AMD Tuesday, Google Tuesday, Microsoft Tuesday. Tuesday is huge. So if you are trading, like I said, if you are going to trade Apple, these are going to be some ones you're going to have to look at. It's just seeing what else was going. Starbucks should be interesting on Thursday as well. Twitter. Okay, Twitter on Tuesday. This is what I was looking for. Now, Twitter is going on Tuesday after the close. There's potential for Twitter to say something about what's going on with Apple and the ability for them to make money off advertising, and if they're going to pull back advertising because of it, and it's hurting some of these stocks' earnings because their customers are just not getting what they used to from Apple, because you're now given the opportunity when you have an Apple device like an iPhone, it asks if you mind if the app follows your moves. And most people, I think 90% of people are clicking, no, I don't want the app to follow. That's not good for people that advertise, like Google. Companies that get a lot of customers where they use their advertising knowledge from our moves that we do daily on these beautiful devices. By the way, brand new iPhone 13 Pro Quantum, some crazy phone. I needed a ton of storage. I make a lot of videos. This thing's got like 265 gigabytes, whatever they call it. I don't know. It's got a lot. But the the pictures that these phones take, and this is just like, it's such an extension of you. We're basically cyborgs, okay? This phone can do everything in the palm of your hand. It's unbelievable. So Apple is just continuing to put out amazing products. And I was able to get this, pretty fairly easy. Supply chain and all that has been an issue, but I got the graphite, beautiful. Didn't have a problem. I was in and out, 20 minutes. It wasn't even a big deal. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I was just lucky to get it. But the earnings on Tuesday are huge. Facebook on Monday, how can I just gloss over that one? That's also going to be highly affected by the changes that Apple made. So that's it, guys. Apple is going to be on my watch. The SPY, the Qs, the Diamond. I want to be seeing some of these levels hold support and maybe scalping some intraday moves. Obviously, momentum stocks are also going to be on my watch list. DWAC, PHUN. These stocks now are on my watch list to see if maybe I could capitalize on Monday with some continuation, even though they did sell off a lot. So guys, hit the thumbs up for the video. If you enjoyed the content, maybe share it with a friend. The growth has been really, really great. And for all my new subscribers, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for choosing to subscribe to the channel. Everything I do here on the channel is for you guys. I'm trying to help everybody out. Come check out our Discord. It's $99, one-time payment. That's it. You're in for life. So, and it's a great trading community. You learn a lot in there. And you have full access to me. It's the best way to reach me. So that's it, guys. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And I will see you guys back tomorrow morning, bright and early. Let's have a great week. Take care, guys.